I graduated college in the 1980s, long time ago. And while I was in college, I was in Buffalo, New York, and I worked for the Buffalo Philharmonic. And this was a period of time where PCs started to become popular. And so the Buffalo Philharmonic bought a client server system with a database behind it to do their ticketing and fundraising. And I was just a part-time worker, but the rest of the organization sort of ran the other direction. And I was an economics major at the time, but I saw the power of databases and programming. So I quickly added a minor to my degree in computer science, and I started writing code against the database so I could produce things like their season tickets or their renewal notices or those sorts of things. And I was really hooked from that. So I was working for the Buffalo Philharmonic, and we were on something called Ticketron, which was bought by Ticketmaster, but all of our data was in someone else's hands. And so when we bought a system that was a client server database system, we had that data, and that was really the key to marketing. And so a lot has changed in the way we interact with the database nowadays, but a lot hasn't changed, right? Having access to your data and figuring out the key points to capture so you can then report on it is a big piece of most companies' business today. So I started my own company several years later and built ticketing software for performing arts and entertainment organizations. And I ran that company for many years, and we sold that business to a large corporation about 20 years ago. And at that point, I went to that company. They were in Charleston, South Carolina, and I noticed everyone there had a MBA. So I said, I'll get an MBA. So I went and got an MBA, and I thought, this is not really for me. I like the technical side. So I got a master's in computer science. And while getting my master's, I'd started up another company. We were doing database kind of programming work again. And the College of Charleston asked me if I wanted to teach some courses. So I taught their database course, and I loved it. I loved interacting with the students and seeing their enthusiasm as it sort of sunk into them, this concept of non-procedural programming we do in databases. And I became hooked. So I went and got my PhD at the University of South Carolina. And I taught at the College of Charleston for almost 10 years, and I've been teaching at NYU the last 3 years.